been more specific projects that we're involved with and that we would like to collaborate with. One of them is the movement for a moment of silence, a minute of silence to start the day in the public schools, which for those states that have already mandated this, what they find is that the students' grades are better. They have less bullying in the school. They have less, mental problems with the students. The dropout rate goes down, and in general, it's just very, very helpful. And it also is done in coordination with the parents. The parents and the children should sit down and speak with each other, hear each other out about what's the good things to just sit down and reflect on, because many of the kids are in very bad neighborhoods. They may see their friends, they maybe see their brothers and sisters, might be, God forbid, shot down by stray bullets from gunfights and this type of thing. So this can put a lot of stress on the child, and just some quiet time to reflect before they get into all of the issues of the day in their different challenges that they have. It just really, really helps the children. And so there's been a number of states that have jumped on board and mandated this, and we support it. A very excellent website, which is run by someone who's actually on our board of directors. It's called momentofsilence.info, and has some beautiful videos, has a beautiful book that was written by children telling about what they gained from this moment of silence at the beginning of their day. Another thing that we are very anxious to collaborate on is our involvement with inmates. We have an active program of reaching out to inmates. I correspond with quite a few inmates through there's a email system that the inmates can use. And of course, we also get a lot of letters. And when we speak to them and we teach them about these principles, what they find is that their whole whatever it was that caused them to go off track and end up in prison, it was because they didn't keep on at least one of these 7 principles, be it not to murder, not to steal, not to commit sexual transgressions and sexual abuse, which is another part of it. And they realized that they had this information to begin with, they never would have ended up in the prison in the first place. And then when they learn about it, they're anxious to then reform themselves, rehabilitate themselves, and go out and spread this information to others who are at risk in these areas. So that's outreach to prison is an area where we really definitely do want to collaborate. And I would say the third area is in community projects for goodness and kindness, to promote like charity drives and things like this that are non-denominational. They're to help people with food banks, people who are struggling, people who can't pay their medical bills and so on. There needs to be there can't be a total reliance on the government to take care of everything, because that's not going to happen. As you can see, there's so many homeless people, so many people who are failing financially because of the unavoidable problems that they have. So we have a program that we're involved with, which is called the ARC program, which ARC stands for Acts of Random Kindness. It's actually run by an organization which the president is my son, Rabbi Yossi Shulman, and they have little charity boxes in the form of Noah's Ark, which they can be like a whole school drive, a whole university drive, or even a county-wide drive where these are handed out, and people can drop in a few coins every day, a few bills, because if you have your spare change, help somebody else out that needs it perhaps more desperately than you. And this is accomplishing some very good work in the areas where it's been done so far, and we'd like to see it, become a much geographically wider program. So those are just a few areas where we would really be welcoming collaboration.
Great achievement, great plan. Thank you so much. Contribution, all the you and your son. These organizations. Because of you and your sons, how many people's life changed. I'm really honor you and your son and your organization doing today is what we should do. And I have another question. How do you hope that your organization will contribute, make the world a better place? Do you want to focus on international issue or religious issue? And then also, how can help, the achievement, some of your goals, organization, future, like 5 years, what you want to achievement? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we firmly believe that every individual is like a whole world within himself, and that an individual, through his own self-improvement and his own good works, can actually make a change in the world, because there's a ripple effect. If you help one person, that person will pay it forward. It can change other people's lives in ways that you can't know about, but that you ultimately were responsible for because you reached out. And so we want to reach as many people as we can, not just in the United States, but around the world. And we have some very large communities of people in different countries that have taken on a commitment to follow these principles in their lives as moral principles and following goodness and kindness. There's a very large community in the Philippines, some communities in Africa, especially in Kenya. There's an organization in Great Britain, in Canada. I mean, I could list many countries. In some cases, the communities are have become quite significant. In other places, it's just maybe a few families or something. And the problem is that the people next door may have this very same interest and values, but there's no way to know that. So you could begin to feel isolated if other people are really involved in things that are very, very far from that philosophy. So we do a lot of networking. We try to get people in touch with each other locally, to build up a sense of community structure and closeness. But then there's some people that the only way that they have of reaching out and getting this information and connecting with others is through the internet, through WhatsApp groups or through Facebook groups. So we're also involved in social media in just helping people get together and become cohesive, because the world is really a small place, and it's our home, and we need to work together to make it better. So those are that's kind of the philosophy of the outreach that we have, and in terms of our publishing, many people, I mean, it's hard to buy books and get them shipped, so we publish our books as ebooks also, which are available from Amazon and so on. The books I mentioned, The Divine Code and The 7 Gates of Righteous Knowledge, and we have also like small introduction booklets, little pocket-sized booklets that are very affordable, that people can find just by looking up from our website, and we point them to where they can get that either directly from us or from Amazon or other publishers.
Oh, great. Great. Share your idea and your organization. Our campaign office tomorrow we send out 1 million emails to 1 million people to all of California. I hope it, help your organizations, know to the in California. I hope people who are listen this video as well as open the email, they'll contact you to how we can, you talk about already website, everything. You are in the Israel, right? So we are in United States. So how in California people, okay, this is what I need to support. This ex-NOI International. How we can collaboration in location in America and Jewish in Israel. How we can support not only your organization, how we can support Jewish community in Israel, what should do your organization or any other organizations might concerning as senator or candidate of U.S. United States. We always a piece of this world, how we can help you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Those are very kind words and beautiful thoughts. Well, first of all, the best way to get in contact with us is through our website, asknoah.org. And everything there comes directly to me. And I will respond, get back in touch, and we can talk about collaboration, or those of your listeners who just want information and want to learn. The website also has tremendous amount of material just to sit and browse through and learn various lessons, teachings from our tradition, or topics of current events and so on, watching the videos. So that's a very good way to get in touch with us. And we are a 501c3 charitable organization, so any donations, which we depend on, of course, are tax deductible within the United States. So that is a very readily available source of information and way to help. And if people are interested in any of those specific projects that I spoke about, by all means, they should get in touch with us. And as far as how you can help us with those goals, and it's a very kind offer. I mentioned a few things. I mentioned the need for the moment of silence in the public schools. There are already quite a number of states where this has been successfully enacted, and it needs to get momentum and get moving across the United States. There does need to be prison reform and programs where that makes it more accessible for inmates at any level to get information and to have learning programs. Education is probably one of the most important things that a person in prison can spend his time on, and learn how to improve himself and how to not repeat those same mistakes in his life. So we like to pattern what we do after the idea of the Aleph Institute, which is based in Florida, which they primarily are there for serving the needs of Jewish prisoners, but there needs to be this type of a program like they have. They will serve inmates of all from all groups, all religions, from all cultures, because people are the whole idea of the incarceration as a way of punishment is foreign to the Jewish tradition. There's other ways that the main goal can be achieved, which is helping the person better himself and not make those same mistakes. And then also mentioned promoting the ARC project, the Acts of Random Kindness project, which we have going with organization of Ask Noah, and also the organization Unite the World with my son. And you can find his website. The address is actually unitetostudy.org.
So I'm really, if you have anyone who are listening to this one, chance to, contact him to join some of his class and then know, each other, what programs more deeply involving Asking Noah International organization together. So seems we have interview together, and the older, details we know, I think all the programs you are learning activations, each organization, nonprofit, not only you, I founded 3 nonprofit organizations. Should the community have the supported, also we have the good financial donation as well as good reputations, as well as we need good activity every daily. So I think the Ask Noah Internationals, we are all listen and what they need specifically. So we are looking forward to working with you, and then, your organization goals, yourself, any organization has a mission. So I wish all the mission is come true, and God is alive, God is there. So everything is have a proper time. So, I think the proper times God will come to all your organizations called the missions. That's God is bound your organization. So we are just depend on everything God will support. God will supply everything. We want to keep on support to your organization, Ask Noah International. So, especially my issue is important is educations. Now is school had so many climb, even we have 27 climb, big climb to people kill parents, worry about, even they send it to their kids to school, they come back or not. So in America needed to reform in education, not only just books, but we have there's some kind of organizations deeply involving, meditate, those, it's very important to understand what the needed student, even, they're so stressed, as well as the teachers so stressed, parents so stressed because crime. So I think your organizations had a lot of mission to connect the school as much as get as much as donor or as much as volunteer. I hopefully solve all the American crime. We should really have a support your organization.